Hey guys, welcome back. If this is your very first time finding this channel, thank you for finding it. Hopefully you'll subscribe. Hopefully you'll check out my sports blog. Everything I do over here, I do over on my sports blog. That's actually in paper that you guys can look down and do your research and write that down as well. And that is fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. And today, this will be my first video on NBA. And I usually do football, and I do NBA over there. I just have never made a video for it yet. So let's get right down to it. This will be the entire choices that I have for Monday, November 11th, 2013. Also Veterans Day. I did have the day off, and so apologize for my hair or if I look like crap or anything like that. This will be kind of an article to be used for 50-50s, double-ups, possibly three-man tournaments, and definitely head-to-heads. And this is a whole list of just a handful of people. It's not an entire list, but it is a list for you guys to try and build off of. So now and everything's going to be used for FanDuel, so the prices are also FanDuel. So starting off with point guards, I have Chris Paul. He is $10,200 on FanDuel, which is most expensive, but he's been a beast this year. He is averaging 47.3 fantasy points, and that's just huge. And his price is the most, but this is a guy that will outproduce that and help your team out. So you got to just think about what you want and if you can afford him. Next up is Tony Parker at $7,900, and I still think he's an elite player, but he is priced like an average player for my liking anyway. He's also coming off 26 minutes because they were in a blowout, so he sat, so he is rested up, and I think he should be in your lineup, especially since what he can produce and what he is actually priced at on FanDuel is pretty low. Or you can go with Jeff Teague at $8,000. He's averaging over 30 minutes in each game, and he's averaging 35.2 fantasy points this season. If you're looking to save money on point guard tonight, instead of going with CP3, so a Tony Parker-Jeff Teague duo, he is the guy to go with. Let's go right over to shooting guard. Dion Waiters, $5,300 on FanDuel. He's also been a beast. His last 3 games, he has 47.6 fantasy points, 31.7 fantasy points, and 32.1 fantasy points. And a huge plus is his relative basement price of $5,300. He is a must-start, in my opinion, at shooting guard tonight. Another one is Gordon Hayward. He is priced at $7,700. He is getting around 38 minutes his last 3 games, and he's averaging 39.5 fantasy points in those games. He's facing a Denver Nuggets team that almost ranks last against shooting guards, so he is a great value if you're looking for someone who's going to get you the points and get you that price. Another one at shooting guard is Evan Turner, $7,500. On most sites, he's a shooting guard, but he's playing as a small forward in the league, actually. And on FanDuel, we can take advantage of that because he does get his fair share of rebounds compared to other shooting guards. His price, though, might be a little high for what he offers. So I threw in Gerald Henderson, who is $5,800. He's a player that gets a ton of minutes, and he averages about 23 fantasy points this year. Especially for his price, he will save you money tonight and produce against the Atlanta Hawks. So that's something to look to. I would lean more towards Gerald Henderson than Evan Turner, but I wanted to give you guys more to think about, look for while you're making your lineups tonight. So small forwards, Luol Deng, $7,100 on FanDuel. He's just one of those few options tonight that he usually plays the entire game. He just missed a triple-double his last time out, and he's still relatively underpriced on most sites, and I do believe the Bulls will lean towards Deng more than the struggling D. Rose until D. Rose can prove himself. Another one who's relatively low is Jeff Green at $6,900. He's averaging 34 minutes and 26 fantasy points this season, and he's just a huge person to take at $6,900 given his medium-priced range. And I threw in DeMarre Carroll, $3,900 minimum price. He doesn't score a lot, but he does get a share of rebounds. He is a starter, and his price will get you the fantasy points and also help save you tons of money if you want to just be able to expend and get that position such as CP3, or we'll go down the list and you'll see more. Next up, power forward, Kevin Love, $10,900. It's another guy you'll be paying a ton for, but that price is there for a reason. He's averaging 51.1 fantasy points this season, with his lowest point total so far being 39.1, which is damn near amazing for everyone else in the league. In only 17-minute average that I did, he has over 32 fantasy points, which is baffling and well worth the price that he is given. A smaller upside to that, Andrew Nicholson, 4,100. He's a value play, but he's also outproduces his price. His upside is his ceiling, also known as, which can easily be 30 fantasy points. He's going up against the Celtics, who are giving up an average of 41.45 fantasy points against power forwards this year. So it's a good one to look into. He's going to be lower. You're going to be able to get those higher people. He will get his points, and it's just a guessing game on him tonight, so check that out. Another one is Tristan Thompson, 6,000 on FanDuel. He's getting his playing time, but not always the points that go along with that playing time. He is a rebound beast, and if he gets any more than 15 fantasy points, he will outproduce his salary on FanDuel for me anyway. And at center tonight, there's not a lot that you can go with that I like, and the price is the most right below Dwight Howard. Al Horford is 9,300 on FanDuel. He is expensive, but he will be a stud in head-to-head matchups. Going against Charlotte, who gives up an average of 44.62 fantasy points, I'm projecting close to 50 fantasy points tonight. You will be paying for that, but it is just a little bit less than Dwight Howard, who I also expect to be getting a lot of points. But as expected, those points do come from those elite players that you guys talk about and I talk about, and Dwight Howard and Al Horford are those elite players. So that is just the list of players I think will help you in your head-to-heads and fantasies. And I do appreciate you guys emailing me, commenting on these videos, commenting on my blog. But the people that are only making accounts just to bash, you will get immediately banned. I will delete your comments. I'm here to help, and I do a lot of research during the day. I put a lot of effort into my picks. Sometimes they're not going to work out, and that's fantasy sports. Like I said, fantasy sports is 80% doing your research, knowing who to go for, and 20% luck. And sometimes that luck will outweigh the research, such as with football, you've got the injured players coming off the first drive, like maybe I would do Aaron Rodgers a couple weeks ago. He threw, a couple times and then hurt his shoulder and was out the rest of the time. I cannot project that happening. So I do apologize that if I don't always make you money, but my proven track record, I have made over $4,000, and I'm getting these emails and these comments, and they are saying thank you, thanks for helping. So for those, you're welcome. I'll keep doing it. I hope you guys keep doing it. I am working on my own fantasy site, and it will be up soon. It takes a lot of work. I'm by myself making this site, and it'll range anywhere from Major League Baseball, it'll go NFL, college football. I'm going to try to do college basketball. We'll see how that endeavor works. NHL, I tried, and I have no faith in myself looking for you guys for NHL. So thank you for checking this out. Check out my sports blog over at fantasysportsadvice.sportsblog.com. Help me help you. Give me suggestions, what you'd like to see. And as always, let's bring home that bacon together.